Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Chana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Chana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Chana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Chana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Kishore Kishore, Jaya Kishore Kishore, Jaya Kishore Kishore, Jaya Kishore Kishore. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jam Vishnupad Paramam Savrajagacharya Sotri Sakri Stavanga Sesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Shlupad Ki Jai, Prantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All Guru Shri Guru Karan, Guru Shri Prabhupada, Shlupad Ki Jai. It's fine. Namo Vishnu Paraya Krishna Pishtaya Bhutale Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Vaskati. So I'm very happy to be back in Chicago, seeing this wonderful deities so effulgent, so nicely taken care of. It shows that the dedication of all the devotees to serve Kishore Kishori. So thank you all for your service and your dedication and your seriousness to serve the Lord as best as you can. So we're reading today from Canto 10, chapter 76, verse number 3. Huh? Let me find out. And the chapter is entitled The Battle Between Salva and the Vrishnis. Shalva pratichnam akaroj. Shalva pratichnam akaroj. Shrinvatam sarva bhujam. Shrinvatam sarva bhujam. Ayadavam krishmam karishe. Ayadavam krishmam karishe. Paurusham mama pashyata. Paurusham mama pashyata. Shalva pradisham akaroj. Shrinvatam sarva bhujam. Ayadavam krishmam karishe. Paurusham mama pasyata. Shalva pradishnam akarok. Shrinvatam sarva bhujam. Ayadavam krishmam karishe. Paurusham mama pasyata. Please repeat. Salva parichna makaro. Srinvatam sarva bhujam. Ayadavam Krishnam Karisye. Salva Pradichnam Akaro. Jrenvatam Sarva Bhujam. Ayadavam Krishnam Karisye. Paurusham Mama Pasyata. Shaiva Pratichnam Akaro. Jrenvatam Sarva Bhujam. Ayadavam Krishnam Karisye. Paurusham Mama Pasyata. Salva Pradichnam Akaro. Srinvatam Salva Bhujam. Ayadavam Krishnam Karisye. Purasham Mama Pasyata. Word by word translation. Shalva. Shalva. Pradichnam. A promise. Akarot. Made. Srinvatam. As they listen. Sarva. All. Bhujam. The kings. Ayadavam. Devoid of Yadavas. Krishmam. The earth. Karisye. I will make. Purusham. Prowess. Mama. My. Pasyata. Chasti. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami H.G.Jaya. Shalva swore in the presence of all the kings, I will rid the earth of Yadavas. Just see my prowess. Please repeat. Shalva swore in the presence of all the kings, I will rid the earth of Yadavas. Just see my prowess. So I will also read verse number 4. Iti muda pradichnaya devam pashubhatim prabhum aradayam asha lipaha pamshu mustim sakrit krasan. Translation. Having thus made this vow, the foolish king proceeded to worship Lord Pashupati, Shiva, as his deity, by eating a handful of dust each day and nothing more. Om Jnanatimirandasya Kananjana Shalakaya Chakshurulmitam Kena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Vancha Kalpatirupyascha Kripa Sindhueva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the first verse again, Shalva swore in the presence of all the kings, I will rid the earth of Yadavas, just see my prowess. So Krishna has threefold pastimes, the Vrindavan pastimes, the Mathura pastimes, and the Dwaraka pastimes. So here we are in the middle of the Dwaraka pastimes. It's from 59 to 90, so we are at 70, 76, So Shalva was present when actually Krishna was kidnapping Rukmini, and of course he was so upset that Krishna was intervening in the proposed marriage of Rukmini, and therefore he was actually speaking this verse that he would, by his prowess, get rid of the Yadavas on this earth, But somehow he at least understood that he can do it on his own, even if he was a demon and had this strong dedication that he wanted to actually get rid of all the Lord's family members. He understood that he could not do it on his own, you know. So he was actually, in this case, asking Lord Shiva for help, you know. And as said in the second verse, the foolish king, it already says in the translation itself, how foolish he can be to think that he can win against the Lord, going against the Lord. But he said he will only eat a handful of dust each day. And we can imagine what kind of austerity that is, you know. How could he actually survive that? It's just unbelievable, at least for myself, that I could live on a handful of dust every day. But Lord Shiva, who is said is normally very quick and very merciful and fulfilling the desires of anybody who approaches him, he waited for 1 year before he actually has given the boon to Shalva. He was asking for a terrifying airship because he was thinking if he has this airship, he could actually go on top of Dwaraka and actually smash the whole city of Dwaraka, all the Yadus, by just throwing down whatever he had at his pleasure, you know. But Lord Shiva, knowing that nothing against the Lord, so he was very hesitating. At the same time, he had to fulfill actually the worship of Shalva. So he has given him the boon that he could actually have this terrifying worship. And he asked actually to prepare this terrifying worship. And Shalva was, of course, very happy, and with his whole army actually went onto the airship and this airplane and went to Dwaraka to attack the Vishnus. Krishna was not there at this time because the Rajasuya sacrifice of Maharaj Yudhishthira happened, and he was actually in Vanaprastha in the place of Lord Yudhishthira's kingdom, and therefore Lord Pradumya was actually fighting with the army against Shalva and his whole army. And I don't want to speak too much about the future of the Lila itself, because many speakers will speak on this actually Lila. But finally, of course, the Lord came back, and the Lord himself killed actually Shalva, you know. So we may ask ourselves, why is the Bhagavatam teaching us about the demons, teaching us about these Leelas? Why is he teaching us that the Lord is fighting with them, you know, after the sweet pastimes of Vrindavan, you know? So it's clear that, like a demon myself, you know, Krishna wants to teach us that, you know, we are eternal servants of Krishna. We should do everything for the pleasure of the Lord. If we try to lord it over, to control and actually manipulate the material energy, that's not will lead to us to success, you know. So we cannot actually achieve that. And of course, all these demons are actually trying that, you know, trying to fulfill their own desires, to control the earth with all their magic they have in their power. But of course, every time Krishna at the end, he comes and defeats them. But Krishna lets always a time pass before he does it, you know. He wants to enjoy himself on one hand, of course, the Lila. On the other hand, of course, he wants to give the chance to the devotees to give their best to actually fight against the demons. So Shalva is, of course, for us in short an example of Maya. How can Maya take us over, you know, and thinking that we can lord over the material world and not please the Lord, and actually serve him in a proper way. And we learn, of course, that we need the blessings of the Lord and we need the blessings of the devotees, you know, to actually achieve whatever we do in life. You know, it's not in our own power. It will actually not bring us to achieve the goal. And it shows also in this example that the blessings of the demigods will not help. You know, if we go into the wrong direction, if we want to go against the Lord, you know. So as we normally say, share with Krishna your plans, he will smile because, of course, he He has another plan. So our goal in life is, of course, to surrender, as we learn in Bhagavad Gita, and do everything for the pleasure of the Lord, every second, not for our pleasure. And at least for me, it's a big task to constantly think about how to actually give pleasure to the Lord. But when I can see the wonderful dressing, so this morning, the devotees, definitely the pujaris, have been in the mood, whatever we do. And Gajendra Moksha told me that he reduced the light on the altar for Kishore Kishori because otherwise it would be too hot, as we don't have an AC. That's a typical expression of actually serving the Lord, giving pleasure to the Lord, Okay. So the question would be made, what are the benefits when we hear all these leelas, Yeah? So it's said that hearing of Krishna Leelas is the boat by which to achieve the ultimate goal of life. And so if we hear these Leelas, our soul is pleased, our soul is connected much more to Krishna, and it develops much more our desire to go back to Godhead. So it increases the pleasure of the heart. And Lord Chaitanya said it, favored are the ones who hear about the activities of Goloka Vrindavan. Again, because it creates this wonderful desire to go back to Godhead. And you may know that many devotees, they always meditate on the time when Gopakumar came back to Goloka Vrindavan. And Krishna was running towards him and embracing him, and said, I waited so long. Why it took you so long, And Krishna even felt unconscious means Gopakumar, And the devotees have been thinking, or, it's a demon, Why is this demon coming to Goloka Vrindavan? But Lord Baladev pacified them, everything is okay. And in the story of Gopakumar, we can only understand how much the Lord is hankering to bring us back to Goloka Vrindavan. He came as his guru, He came so many times to actually help him to redirect or direct himself towards Goloka Vrindavan, towards his goal of life, And finally, Radharani even asked the Brahmana to teach him the last lesson so that he could actually go to Goloka Vrindavan, So Srila Prabhupada also says in the introduction of the 10th canto that every intelligent person must strive to understand Krishna and his activities. And he quotes there Sukadev Goswami and says, Sukadev Goswami said, like the water of the Ganges, descriptions of the activities of Krishna can purify the entire universe. The speaker, the inquirer, and the audience all become purified. So when we hear these leelas, actually we are coming purified. So I will take the opportunity to share some leelas with you this morning. Some of them are out of Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj's book, some from Indadunda Maharaj's Vrindavan lectures. So one of my favorite out of Bhakti Purushottam Goswami's book is that one day Mother Yashoda was preparing a sort of cupboard, with different shelves. And she was putting in, wonderful incense and different oils and jewelry and clothing. And Krishna came and said, Mother, is this for me? And Mother Yashoda said, no. For you and Balaram, I made this before, wonderful arrangements, The church said, but for who is this? He said, there is one gopi which is very close to my heart, I prepared this for her. And Abhimanyu is today actually meeting your father. He is in his father and your father's space, and they have something to talk about. But when he will leave, I will ask him to take this cupboard to actually bring it to the gopi. So when Mother Yashoda was done, Krishna was directly calling his friends and said, please come and help me, And he asked the gopas to help him to actually empty the whole cupboard, Say, put this aside. And I go in there and you close it. So when Abhimanyu was done, Mother Yashoda would approach him and say, I have a gift for your good wife. Would you mind taking it with you? And Abhimanyu said, for sure, So he took the cupboard on his shoulder, and it was so heavy. He was thinking, there must be so much gold in there. I will be able to buy so many cows and enlarge my cow herd, But as soon as he approached actually his home, his mother told him, bring this up to Radharani right away. And he said, oh no, now I lost my case. How can I get anything out of this cupboard? So he was going up, and Radharani was there with the gopis in her room. And Abhimanyu said, I have a gift for you. And said, yeah, put it out on the porch. Yeah? So he was actually going through the room out on the porch and put this cupboard on the porch, And he was leaving and going back to his cows, and still very sad that all his desires had not been fulfilled today, that he could actually buy more cows, And the gopis and Radharani, they had been some playing with each other and whatever. But suddenly, Lalita said, why don't we open this cupboard and let's see what is in there? So they went out there, and when they opened the cupboard, who was there? Krishna. He said, what are you doing here, you cheater? This is actually the woman's part of the house. How can you be in here? And they started to chastise him. And Krishna, of course, was enjoying so much that the gopis would chastise him, and he could see Radharani, So then the gopis sat together and said, how can we punish Krishna today? How can he do that? Something like this, Just enter our quarters. It's impossible, So after a long discussion, they said, yeah, we have to bind Radharani and Krishna for the whole day together. Huh? So of course, Krishna was very happy. Radharani was very happy because they had been bound on their arms, and they had to spend the whole day together. But after some time, the gopas would come and bring all the gifts. They would tell Kutila, we bring gifts for Radharani. She said, please go up there, bring it to her. And they would go up and knock on the door and actually deliver all the different items Mother Yashoda had prepared. And Krishna was so happy that the gopas came, and of course he could sneak out with the gopas together so that Kutila could not see that he was actually spending time with actually Radharani. On another note, the Rasalila dance was coming up, and the Radharani wanted to improve her dancing and made an arrangement that Krishna would be alone and teach her to dance. So they met at a secret place, and Krishna was teaching Radharani new dance steps, and she was so happy, and of course Krishna was so happy to spend time together. But when Radharani went home, something was missing. The ring her mother had given her was missing. She said, oh no, this mischievous Krishna, for sure, he took my ring, So she assembled all the gopis and said, okay, how can we get this ring back, How can we punish this mischievous boy, So after some days, Radhita and Radharani went to the field where actually Krishna would herd the cows with his friends. And they knew that after lunch, Krishna would take a nap. So Krishna was taking a nap on Mother Mangal's lap, So Lalita and Radharani would approach them, And first they would look in his kurta for the ring. And of course they found the ring in there. They took the ring. But they took his feather, his black chadar, and actually his flute, and slowly, slowly moved away. And when they came back, and all the gopis had been so happy, today they punished Krishna, So that was a big success for them, And said, what will happen, So next few days, nothing happened. And still they enjoyed so much that they had Krishna's flute, and his chadar, and his peacock feather. But one day, two elder ladies came in front of Rishabhanu's castle and actually had been crying for Krishna. We want to see Krishna. Where is Krishna? We miss Krishna so much. We are waiting for Krishna for so many years. We have not seen him. And Radharani heard all the cry and said, wow, these are such sincere devotees, and they really want to get the darshan of Krishna. But Krishna is not here. What do we do? She said, okay, most probably I have to dress myself as Krishna, so that these devotees, these ladies can get darshan of Krishna. So she was dressing herself in the black chadar, peacock feather, the flute, whatever. And she goes out there, and as soon as she comes out, these two ladies directly catch all the things she had on herself, the peacock feather, the flute, and the chadar. And they actually took off their clothing, and of course it was Krishna and Mother Mother. So another Lila which had a very happy end, you know. By the way, some current ones. Did you hear about Gopal Krishna Maharaj? There is in Nandagram actually a temple of actually Krishna Balaram. And the Pujari, he had a dream that Krishna Balaram want that Gopal Krishna Maharaj joins them in herding the cows. But the Pujari did not know Gopal Krishna Maharaj. So he went around in Nandagram and asked many devotees if they know Gopal Krishna Maharaj, but nobody knew him. So he stopped there, and after 2 days he had another dream, again the same. Krishna Balaram would like that Gopal Krishna Maharaj joins them for herding the cows. So this time he went to different villages around to inquire if anybody knows Gopal Krishna Maharaj. So one lady there told him, you know, ISKCON has many swamis. Most probably you should go and ask ISKCON. So he went to actually Krishna Balaram temple in Vrindavan and inquired about Gopal Krishna Maharaj. And they told him that Maharaj just passed away some days ago. And he understood that he was called by Krishna Balaram to join them by herding the cows. So he took a picture of Maharaj and went back and put the picture on his altar. All glories to Gopal Krishna Maharaj. That's all what we're hankering for. One day, that Krishna may also call all of us to come and have some, participate in some leelas, you know. Another one, Giriraj Maharaj wrote about 2-3 days ago. Madhava Prabhu, the famous Kirtaniya, was actually Kirtan at his ashram in California, you know. And Maharaj said in the middle of the Kirtan, the deities told him, I want you to all to come back to Godhead. Not just you, all of them, you know. So again, we can see how Krishna is hankering so much to bring us back and to have us in his association and in his environment. Did you hear about the Man Lila? One of Indratumna Maharaj's Lila. So in public, Radharani and Krishna could never interact with themselves. You know, they could not even properly look at each other. They could not talk to each other. They could not do anything. So the way Radharani dressed and the way that Radharani actually set up her face was indicating Krishna what she wanted to do. You know, so when she was actually putting some special flowers, twigs, whatever into her hair, it showed Krishna where she would like to meet him. Based on the different decorations she had on both sides of her cheeks, Krishna knew if Radharani would come alone or with how many gopis she would come. And based on the little dot on her face, she would indicate, Krishna, you come alone, or you can actually bring Madhumangal with you, 2 dots or 3 dots, whatever. And there have been only a very limited number of gopas. They could be present when Radha and Krishna would actually meet, you know. And based on her earrings, she would indicate the time. So this special day, she had 3 earrings connected to each other. So Krishna knew 24 minutes by 3 in 72 minutes. He should actually meet Radharani. That was her desire. And it should be a Kadamba tree, at the Kadamba tree, because she had the twig of the Kadamba tree in her hair. You know? So Radharani was very anxious to meet Krishna, and she went, of course, there with the gopis. She had 8 dots, so all our Astasakis had been with her, and been preparing to actually meet Krishna. But Krishna was not coming. Krishna was late and late and late, and the Radharani got so upset. So man means anger. So finally she was so upset. When Krishna finally came, she did not react. She did not greet him, did not look at him. No smile, nothing. Krishna tried whatever he had in his magic to actually get the attention of Radharani. But he could not do anything. You know? So he went to Lalita and said, Lalita, you have to help me. So Lalita tried and went to actually interact with Radharani. She was not successful. So finally he went to Vishaka. So Vishaka tried, and finally she was able to actually get the attention of Radharani, and she was actually successful. But she just asked Krishna, said, "You don't do this anymore. You come late and make Radharani angry. Otherwise, we will really punish you." Eh? So then Krishna and Radharani would meet, and Krishna jokingly said, maybe I should also one day be in Man. Huh? Huh? So then next few days, they meet at different places, but one of the following days, Krishna would come and be completely in anger, completely in Man. So the Rani would approach Krishna, and Krishna would not even look at her. No change in his face, no smile, no attention to her, whatever. She tried and tried, saying his name, pleasing words. Nothing happened. No success. So Radharani was calling Lalita and said, "You have to help me." Lalita also had no success. She started with Vishaka, no success. So finally, Radharani was so in trouble, she started to cry and cry and cry. It was like torrents of rain, so much that she cried that the Yamuna would overflow. Yeah? And Yamuna came out in person and said, you're giving me so much trouble. You're giving me so much trouble. What's happening? So Radharani would share with the Yamuna what is her trouble. And said, Yamuna, okay, if you want, I can try. I can try myself. So what happened is that I said, okay, but don't say anything and give me some time. So Yamuna went into, a yard when actually nobody could see her. And she dressed herself as Krishna. So when she came out and passed by, Krishna directly changed his mood because Krishna was attracted by himself. Huh? Yeah? And Radharani was so happy that Krishna is finally out of Man, and she could actually yeah, share time with Krishna, of course, and have nice pastimes. But she said to Yamuna, how can I be grateful to you? What can I do for you? You have all the lotus flowers. Yeah? You have all the blessings of the Lord. The Lord is walking along you. The Lord is taking baths in you. The Lord is playing in your river. How can I do something? Jesus said, okay, from now on, I will always have a lotus in my left hand, and I will bless you and everybody else. So that's normally the the posture Radharani has in all our art. So that was the man the man lila. Do we have time for another one? So one day Krishna wanted to know if Radharani really loves him and what she thinks about him. There are different kind of versions. One, he transformed himself in a lady, and the other one is that actually he was just dressing himself as a gopi. So the gopi was so beautiful. So went from Nandagram to actually Varshana, and stood in front of the castle, the kingdom of Rishabhanu. And the servants announced to Radharani, there is this wonderful gopi out there. So Radharani said, yeah, bring her to me. Yeah? So Krishna, dressed as a gopi, went there, and said, um, what is your name? My name is Madhava. Huh? And where are you from? Yeah, I live around Nandagram. Huh? And why did you come here? Yeah, I just wanted to visit. I wanted to visit you. I heard so much about you. I wanted to visit you and spend some time. So Radharani sit Krishna down, in her courtyard, and they have been talking to each other, and suddenly Krishna started to speak about himself. It's just a mischievous boy. He's always making so much trouble. Nobody likes him. It's only trouble from morning to night. And he plays with the cows in an improper way, he steals butter and so many things. And Radharani started to actually defend Krishna and say, no, 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 he is the most wonderful person, Everybody is just looking to spend time with him. Everybody is so anxious to see him end of the day coming back from the pasture where he herds the cows with his friends. And, confidentially, I can share, at night, the gopis, they have such wonderful time with him. And Krishna was starting again, to speak against him, how he's so mischievous. And how Kotila is right, He should never allow that Radharani has any contact with him and so on. So, and Radharani, of course, was again speaking for Krishna. So finally, Madhava left, without saying anything. So the next day she comes again. Krishna comes as a gopi again. And the third day, finally, he disclosed her that it's Krishna himself. And of course, they spent wonderful time together at King Vishnabanu's place. So one day, my last one day, Radharani had so much pain, incredible pain, She was crying out. And Kutila was coming by and said, what is going on? He said, I have so much pain. I have so much pain. So she tried to help her with different, recipes she has at home, this and that, whatever, but nothing helped. And this morning, Kutila heard another rumor that Radharani or Krishna would always meet with Radharani. He said, it has to stop. From now on, Radharani can never go and cook for Krishna anymore. Huh? So then, when nothing helped, they asked for a Vaidya. The Vaidya came, nothing he could do. Radharani was still so much in pain. So then finally, one of the gopis said, I have a friend, she is a very special healer. I'm sure she could most probably help Radharani. So Kutila said, oh, please bring her right away. And of course, it was Krishna in disguise of a gopi. So then this gopi went and brought Krishna to Radharani. And the Kutila said, oh, I'm so grateful that you came. I really hope that you can help Radharani. She's so much suffering. Please do your best. So the gopi said, but I have to be alone with her. Nobody can be there. I have to completely alone and don't disturb me. Otherwise I can do not actually my magic. So Krishna went into the room of Radharani, and spent some time. So after some time, nothing happened. Kutila came to the door. What's happening? I told you, don't disturb us. I need some time. After some time, Krishna was shouting out so much and was said, one of the demigods came and said, you actually decided that Radharani cannot cook for Krishna. Therefore, she has this pain. How can you do that? And Kutila said, no. I don't want to give pain to Radharani. I don't want that. Of course, she can go and cook for Krishna. Said, okay, please give me some time. Give me some time. So Krishna, of course, spent another few hours with Radharani, and finally her pain, of course, was not present anymore. Kutila was so happy that Radharani was actually without any pain. And she remembered she could never decide any longer that Radharani could not go in the morning and cook for Krishna. So these are some of the Leelas I wanted to share with you. I have a number of others, but I think maybe you share one of your favorite ones. It would be nice. As we heard, it gives pleasure to our heart. It creates a stronger desire to actually go back to Godhead, and it cleanses ourselves when we hear these wonderful Leelas. Anybody would like to share your favorite one? If not, Prantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Ki Jai.